In the serene kingdom of Lumbini, nestled between tall mountains and dense forests, lived a wise monk named Suryapada. Known for his deep understanding of the Dharma, he had disciples from all corners of the kingdom who came to seek his guidance. Among them was a young man named Arjuna, who was struggling to find his path in life. Arjuna was intelligent and ambitious, but he often found himself overwhelmed by the grand goals he set for himself. Every time he tried to achieve something significant, he became disheartened by the enormity of the task, eventually giving up in frustration. He would then retreat into a cycle of self-doubt, believing that success was only for the fortunate few and that he would never be among them. One day, after yet another failed attempt at pursuing a grand dream, Arjuna decided to seek Suryapada's counsel. He traveled to the monk's simple abode, a small temple perched atop a hill, surrounded by a garden of blooming lotuses. As Arjuna approached, he found Suryapada seated on a rock near a small stream, calmly watching the water flow over smooth pebbles. Arjuna bowed deeply and, without waiting for the monk to acknowledge him, poured out his heart. "Master," Arjuna began, his voice tinged with frustration, "I have tried so hard to achieve something meaningful in life, but every time I begin, the journey seems impossible. The path ahead is always too long, too difficult, and I cannot find the strength to continue. What is the point of starting if I am destined to fail?" Suryapada listened patiently, his eyes never leaving the stream. After a long pause, he finally spoke. "Arjuna, do you see this stream?" the monk asked. "Yes, master," Arjuna replied, puzzled by the simple question. "Observe how it flows over the pebbles. Each stone, no matter how small, changes the course of the water, even if just by a little." Arjuna nodded, though he still didn't understand what the monk was trying to convey. Suryapada stood up slowly and motioned for Arjuna to follow him. They walked together in silence until they reached the base of the hill. There, the monk pointed to a path leading up to the temple. The path was lined with pebbles winding gently up the slope. "Do you see this path, Arjuna?" Suryapada asked. "Yes, master," Arjuna replied, still uncertain. "This path was not always here," the monk explained. "Years ago, there was no clear way to reach the temple. The hill was steep and the ground uneven, making the journey difficult for those seeking the Dharma. One day, I decided to create a path, but I did not have the strength to build it all at once. So, each day, I would gather a few pebbles and place them on the ground, step by step." Arjuna's eyes widened as he began to understand. "You built this path by placing just a few pebbles each day?" "Yes," Suryapada smiled, "and over time, those small steps created a path that many have followed." The monk paused, letting his words sink in. Then he continued, "In life, Arjuna, success is not always about achieving grand goals in a single leap. It is about taking small, consistent steps, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Just as this path was built one pebble at a time, so too can you achieve your goals by breaking them down into small, manageable tasks." Arjuna felt a surge of hope. He realized that his problem was not a lack of ability, but rather the overwhelming pressure he placed on himself to succeed all at once. "But, master," Arjuna asked, "how do I know which small steps to take? What if I make a mistake and place the pebbles in the wrong direction?" Suryapada chuckled softly. "Even if a pebble is misplaced, the path can always be adjusted. The important thing is to keep moving forward. The stream does not stop flowing because of a single stone, it finds a way around it. So too should you continue, learning and adapting as you go." Arjuna felt a weight lift from his shoulders. He thanked Suryapada for his wisdom and began to walk back down the hill, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known before. He now understood that his journey would not be defined by grand achievements, but by the small steps he took every day. Months passed, and Arjuna embraced the lesson of the pebbles. He started by setting small, achievable goals for himself. Each day he would focus on one task, no matter how minor it seemed. Gradually, these small efforts began to build upon each other, and Arjuna found himself making progress where he had once only encountered failure. He learned new skills, formed meaningful relationships, and slowly but surely began to realize his dreams. Whenever he felt overwhelmed, he would remind himself of the pebble path and the stream, and the lesson that success was not a distant destination, but a journey of small, deliberate steps. Years later, Arjuna returned to the temple to visit Suryapada. The monk was older, but his eyes still sparkled with the same wisdom. Arjuna knelt before him, expressing his gratitude. "Master, your teachings have transformed my life. I have learned that no step is too small, and that success is built one pebble at a time." Suryapada smiled warmly and placed a hand on Arjuna's shoulder. "You have understood the Dharma, Arjuna. Remember, the path to enlightenment is also a journey of small steps. Continue on this path and you will find peace and fulfillment, not just in your achievements, but in every moment of your journey." And so Arjuna left the temple, carrying with him the wisdom of the Pebble path. He would go on to achieve great things, but more importantly, he would find joy and contentment in the small, steady steps that led him there. The lesson of the pebbles would guide him throughout his life, reminding him that even the longest journey begins with a single, simple step. Nyan. Success is not measured by the grandeur of your goals, but by the small, consistent steps you take towards them. Every small effort counts, and over time, these efforts will lead you to your destination.